Hi, just Islamic Dad here. If you enjoy this channel, please subscribe. It does help me out a lot. I'm going to do a video on a question I stumbled upon on Quora, and that question was, do narcissists feel regret? Now, this answer is going to go off in a very odd direction, and the fact that it did really resonated with me and my experience with my malignant narcissist ex-wife. So the question was, do narcissists feel regret? And this woman recounted an experience that she had with her mother, who is a narcissist. One night, the woman found her 62, and that is important, 62-year-old elderly narcissist mother crying. And to give some context and some background, the woman grew up in a typical nuclear family and had a model father. No drinking, no drugs. Never came home drunk or obviously or anything like that. Worked hard. Always made sure that everyone was taken care of. I mean, the family was clearly a priority in his life. Everyone felt safe. Everyone felt taken care of. I assumed, loved. And, really just the model father, and I assume the model husband. And so the, woman asked her elderly 62-year-old narcissist mom, who was just, weeping tears, just crying, what was wrong? And her mother said, I feel so much regret. I am full of so much regret. And the daughter said, why? What's going on, Mom? And the 62-year-old narcissist mother said, I regret marrying your father. I regret wasting my life on being a wife. I regret my life wasted on being a mother. I regret that I wasted all those years on that man, and I regret that I didn't live the life that I felt I was entitled to. As you can imagine, I think the woman probably got up and walked away, before she lost her temper. But, just to stop there. I mean, I know that's, not what people mean when they ask the question of regret, but that's the cold hard truth, that the narcissist, they're so screwed up with their perspective on life and just where they, their place in the world, that when you ask them something like that and say, okay, what do you regret? That's where they go. And, my malignant narcissist ex-wife, that was very much, and that's why this whole thing resonated with me. That is where she was, and I would say to this day is. We were married for 20 years, 2 kids. During that time, it was a very stable, loving, happy, compassionate, warm family life. Nice house in the suburbs, good schools, taken care of, safe neighborhood, nice cars, health insurance, 401ks, and it was an environment of love. She was a very good mother. And then she had her, midlife crisis and woke up a completely different person. And this new person was a malignant narcissist, and looked at life very differently. And when she looked back on the 20 years of marriage and of motherhood, she was full of regret. In her mind, she was like, okay, I wasted those 20 years when I could have been out partying. I could have been out doing drugs. I could have been doing Tinder dates and meeting guys. I could have been a groupie, hanging out with a band and like going on, world tours. I could have been just living this rock star life of adventure and just, Dionysian pleasure. Just like that's where her mind went. And to be clear, it's not like she wanted the kids to disappear, but she felt that they were hindrances to the rock star party girl, sex, drugs, and rock and roll life that she wanted to live. So it wasn't like she viewed the kids as having done anything to her. She was just annoyed that they were there. So fast forward now, both kids live with me, but yeah, so again, like if you were to ask my ex-wife, the malignant narcissist, and say, okay, do you have any regrets? She would say, yeah, I regret getting married. I regret having kids. I regret trying to live this boring, button-down, normal suburban life. Because in her mind, even though she couldn't necessarily play an instrument or be in a band, she wanted to have the rock and roll lifestyle. Like she just wanted just, a life of novelty, distraction, excitement, forever, period. And even though she came to this conclusion when she was, I think, 42, 43, in her mind, she thought she was 21. And, yeah. So, but bringing this back, the question is regret. No, the narcissists don't regret things the way normal people do. They don't regret actions they've done that have harmed others. They regret actions that they've done that they later think harmed themselves. And so they might have a perspective of, oh, I regret doing that because I could have been a rock star, or I could have hooked up with the, captain of the football team, or I could have taken that job and then traveled Europe for 3 years. That's how, that's the only time they feel regret is in that manner. It's not because they've done something that's ever, caused them to feel that they've hurt, someone else or someone that they, may think they love or something like that, and that they regret causing them harm. Like they just, that's not even on their radar. And so again, I assume that question is being asked from the perspective of people who have gotten out of relationships with a narcissist, and either, by choice or being on the receiving end, and are wondering like, oh my gosh, does my narcissist regret doing all those horrible things for me for years and years, and the emotional abuse, the gaslighting, the cheating. I could go on and on. And the answer is no, they don't regret any of that. If anything, and I'm being completely honest here. If you ask them and got the narcissist to be honest, they probably regret not cheating on you more. They regret not, having more supply from other people in their life while they were with you. That's where they are, like, mentally. So anyways, I hope this video's been helpful.